So now it's time to make a sandwich that you veggie lovers will really enjoy. Anthony DeFalco from DeFalco's Italian Deli and Grocery joins me today with this recipe for a portobello mushroom sandwich, which sounds absolutely delicious.
Yeah, it's a wonderful sandwich. Thank you. Yeah, it is too. It really is good. And portobello mushrooms or portobella, I mean, it's up for debate which is the proper way to say it. There's actually a mushroom council that tells you that it's portobella, but
portobella.
We're not going to argue the point. It's a great sandwich, and it's a great mushroom because it's a very meaty mushroom. You can put it on the grill, and it actually has almost a steak kind of consistency to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what do we start with here? Are we going to marinate them?
We're going to marinate these. So what I will start doing is I'm going to go ahead and cut the mushrooms first. Now, I've already washed these. They are big, aren't they? I've already washed these and patted them dry with a towel. You don't want to get them too wet. You want to definitely just wash them quickly, get as much of the debris or sediment that may be on here off, and then go ahead and just pat it dry so it's not too wet. Because they are really absorbent mushrooms. They pick up moisture
very quick. So really get them dried off.
But that also makes them really good for marinating.
Then are we going to pop this thing off? Or?
You know what, actually, the stem is actually good. It's a little tougher, but what we're going to do is you just want to cut the end of the stem off. So we're going to go ahead and just chop that end part off. And the rest of this is perfect for what we're going to use it for. So I'll cast that aside. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is now I'll just go ahead and slice these in 1/4-inch slices.
A good sharp knife always helps when you're dealing with portobello
mushrooms. As long as you get your fingers out of the way, right? And then we're going to go ahead and place these in a pan because we're going to go ahead and do our marinade here with this.
How long are we marinating for?
Well, you can get away with doing them for about 3 to 6 hours. I mean, I wouldn't do any less than that. I'd prefer you do them overnight simply because they're going to really absorb the flavors of all the things we're going to put into them a lot better. So I would say overnight. And turn over the mushrooms maybe once or twice throughout the evening.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and layer these in here nice and flat so that we can get all of our stuff on top of there. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil. And you can go ahead and go by measurement, but it's not really necessary.
All right.
You can go ahead and just, as long as you're covering things, this is extra virgin olive oil. So you can see the nice color there.
I know a lot of times we do like a marinade in a Ziploc baggie. That way we don't necessarily have to.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea too. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely, that will. And we're going to go ahead and cover that. And now I'm going to put some balsamic vinegar of Modena over this. And you don't have to go with the super high-end balsamic. I mean, if you want to use a 12-year for something like this, it really would make it nice, but it's not necessary because we're talking about something you're going to put on the grill. You're going to cook it out. The flavors are still going to be amazing and wonderful, even if you don't go with a super high-end balsamic.
What I'm noticing, too, here, and I want to make sure our viewers at home notice, is he's really saturating it, so we're really seeing all those juices kind of seep into the mushrooms.
No question. And, in fact, I may end up putting a little more on this before it's all said and done. I'm just sort of, you want to make sure you end up covering it. And then this is just a little Marsala wine. You want to do about 1/3 the amount of Marsala that you do the other two things. The olive oil and the balsamic vinegar are going to be more equal portions.
Okay.
This is going to be about 1/3 of what the other two are.
Okay.
So I'll quickly add a little bit more of that, and then we'll be set. So I'll cover some more oil.
So again, you say 6 to 8 hours overnight makes you really happy.
Yeah, exactly. If you're prepping, if you're trying to do this on a quick shot, it's probably not something you want to set up for people, because it's going to be a little bit harder work.
I'm going to reach back here and grab these because this is kind of where we're going. This has been marinating, and I am not a professional, so I'll probably make a mess of this. But
doing fine.
Okay.
And that's what they'll look like coming out of the oven. You want to get them to where they're a little shriveled from the heat.
Okay.
And also, just to be sure, the marinade will also, we would normally chop garlic and put that in here. Fresh garlic would be chopped into this. And then the salt and pepper would go into that marinade as well.
With the spinach, we're going to do a quick wilt on them over there.
So wilt spinach now to go on this particular sandwich. We just want to go ahead and put a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan. Not a lot, just put a little on the bottom. You can throw that right. You go right ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, throw it in.
I'm your Sue today, all right?
There we go. I need all the help I can get, trust me. And I'll grab my tongs here, and we'll just kind of flip that around. And in fact, if you want to do that, you can do that if you want to.
Slice this over here?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I going at an angle?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So what bread do you think really brings out the best flavors?
Well, this one I brought today is an Italian baguette. And it's a wonderful bread because it's a little more dense, it's a little more crusty, and it's perfect for this particular type of sandwich.
Okay.
And in fact, we're going to take those. I'm going to leave that there for a moment. We're going to use this part right here.
Did I do it wrong?
No, you're fine.
Oh.
This looks great. But for what we do with the sandwich, like if you come to our place, you're going to get it on
that's
something
the whole
like
thing.
that's
Okay.
the sandwich right there. So what we'll do is we would cut it this way.
Okay.
Yes.
Like this.
All the way through.
All the way through. Okay.
And I'll go ahead
I'll
and
let you
check
keep
our
an eye on
spinach. There we go.
So we're going to layer all of this goodness right on here.
That's right. Now the first thing we would do with this particular thing is we go ahead and put pesto right on both sides of the bread. See, you're already on it.
You want to hire me?
I do, actually. I need some good help.
I like a lot of pesto, so I'm slathering this on both sides.
And we do pull a lot on it. When you get the sandwich at our place, it's not going to be short of pesto at all. It's going to have plenty of pesto on there. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some of the wilted spinach on because I think we're about good now.
For TV time, we'll throw it on there and call it good.
There we go.
And I think people will be able to smell and taste.
They'll get the idea, right?
Now, you've got some cream cheese, too, over here, right?
That's actually goat cheese.
Goat cheese. Ooh, yes.
Yes. We put the spinach on, set that off to the side over here, and then our mushrooms now will go on next. So we'll go ahead and put those on, and we'll layer them all the way across the sandwich. And again, these are a meaty mushroom, so they really make this a nice hearty sandwich. You would think that this is something... Yes, that's right, you see?
Okay.
Again, I should hire you. You would think this is something that would be just strictly vegetarian, very light, and it is light, but it's also very filling, believe it or not. It's filling, and it's rich, and it's wonderful. And again, I couldn't do this better myself.
All right.
Perfect. Okay, so now, if we were actually serving this sandwich over at the place, we'd go ahead and take this and pull that apart if we get them all the way through. All right.
And throw that top on there?
And then we would actually put this whole thing back in our oven and bake all of this together.
Okay, so make it all
we would bake it all together, and it would all be melted. The bread would be nice and crispy. We would come back out. I'll cut that in half again, and we would toss a couple of nice pepperoncinis on it. So that's what you would see served when you, and it's a wonderful sandwich, and people are really fond of it.
Well, you know what? This looks delicious, and my fingers are proof of delicious goodness. Here's the best idea, though. Go ahead and head over to DeFalco's Italian Deli and Grocery at 2334 North Scottsdale Road in Scottsdale. That's, of course, 480-990-8660, and try it out there. Nice, warm, and delicious.